or recorded. You have 15 minutes.
Mike.
Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean you to put money on the account. I was just trying to call and let you know I was going to get a phone card on Tuesday.
Okay, no problem. From what I gather, I put $25, and that gives us 77 minutes. So we might as well use it, and it's money well spent, brother. Our prayers are with you, and we're always thinking about you, and I hope you're doing well.
Have you heard from Pat?
I have not heard from Pat. I have heard from Sue a couple of times. I can tell you that Debbie, who drove Pat into Alabama prison and I guess sat with her during the orientation, said that Pat handled it very well. She was not emotional, and that she was very, very strong. And, she was very surprised at, her ability to handle the whole situation. And I have not heard from her, though. I've sent her books. I've sent her a Bible and plus several other books. And we've mailed her some pictures. You're going to get the same pictures as well. It's some color pictures of you guys on the farm and your house and your animals. So, but I haven't heard from her. I have not heard from her.
Well, she told me Monday that she had emailed you a copy of the petition that I created for Lippman, as well as Pat's affidavit that she was supposed to file Monday with the court.
Was that 11 pages, Mike?
I don't know, probably.
Okay, yeah, she did mail me something, and then she even updated it later, and she mailed me a second version of it, and I took the updated version and put it on your webpage, and I think I even read it into YouTube, I believe. But yeah, I did receive something from her. It was an 11-page petition.
Okay. Yeah, I had created a petition, and I had I actually found in the United States Code where it says that irrespective of recognition of the United States, a foreign official has immunity, including their family. I cited the United States Code, Title 18, Section 1201A, that specifically specifies, irrespective of recognition by the United States, you can't lock us up, you can't arrest us, you can't try us in your court, you have no jurisdiction, period, for foreign officials. And then it lists what a foreign official is, and the first thing that it recognizes is an ambassador.
Well, praise God. I hope that works, Mike. I pray to God that that's accepted.
Well, obviously the judge hasn't responded to it, so apparently she doesn't care.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys, when I say you guys, I'm talking about political prisoners in general. You always have incredibly accurate and truthful, legal arguments. But these evil, wicked bastards in these court systems, they just don't care. They just don't care.
They just ignore the truth and proceed as though you never said a word.
Right.
What the general public is ignorant to the fact we're dealing with sorcery. We're dealing with Moloch worshiping, low-level Satan, scum of the earth.
Amen. Amen, Mike. Amen.
Look, I was reading in the Bible last night in Leviticus, and it's talking about people that worship Moloch and sacrifice their children. In the times of Moses, they were sacrificing their children. What are they doing today at the abortion clinics? They're sacrificing their children.
Yes.
What about the Bohemian Grove? They're worshiping a 40-foot owl called Moloch.
Yep.
The leaders of this United States government corporation and all the heads of the corporations are there worshiping Moloch and engaging in mock sacrificial. Well, they say it's a mock. Who knows? They could be killing children there.
I'm with you, Mike. I totally agree that our country has degraded to one where it's Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, if not worse.
It is. It is. They're destroying the innocents. They get off on it. They get energy from destroying innocence. That's what Moloch's all about. If you look at these judges, my wife has not, she's 50 years old. She hadn't had a ticket in 30 years. I think she had a parking ticket last when she was at the University of Memphis as a student.
No, there's a lot of people that, your wife going to prison is just an example of how evil these wicked bastards are, and there's no doubt about that she should not be in prison, and she was entrapped by a satanic FBI. Hey, Mike, I've got a 7-minute statement. I don't know if you want to finish listening to that. The reason, and again, I would have preferred to have talked to you, brother, because, you know, you are the man of the...
10 minutes.
The thing is that you being in prison makes it very difficult to communicate, but I need the people to understand, you know, that your wife is a real person with real feelings, and they're targeting an innocent lady. So I asked her to put out a statement, and if you want, I can play it for you because I think it's important you hear it.
Yes.
Okay, here goes. I'm going to play it.
Also, I need to ask you, if you can, send me a copy of that updated petition to Lippman as well as Pat's affidavit if you got those.
When you say Pat's affidavit, I can definitely send you the Lippman thing, the petition to Lippman, but when you say Pat's affidavit, what do you mean by that?
She was supposed to have created an affidavit to go along with that petition.
Okay, I'll look for it. I don't recall that, but maybe she did, and I'm just not recalling it. But okay, let me look for that.
She didn't send it to you.
Yep.
She didn't send it to you. If you can look on the internet for that U.S. District Court in Memphis and find her case and see if that filing is there, it should be uploaded if she did it.
It'll be in like the court records or something?
What did you call it, Pacer before?
Oh, pacer.gov. Yeah, but I need the case number. I'll have to get the case number somehow.
She never gave me the case number. She didn't give me any information about her case, period.
Okay. It's going to be very difficult for me to find any information on Pacer without a case number, but I'll try. But I definitely got the 11-page petition. I can get that out in the mail Monday. If you search Patricia or United States of America versus Patricia Parsons, I bet it'll come up. Yeah, you may be right. You may be right. Okay, Mike, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and play this because I think it's important you hear the whole thing. And I'm curious if you have anything to add, you know, given that your knowledge of the situation.
Okay.
All right.
That we were both shot at by our so-called neighbors.
Let me back up just a little bit.
I want all to hear my voice to know that I'm a good person who has never hurt anyone. My husband Mike has never hurt anyone. But apparently it is okay that we were both shot at by our so-called neighbors. And nothing is done to them. I am extremely painfully shy person. I'm not bold and outspoken like Mike or Justice Holland. I have a college degree in electrical engineering technology and have worked as an electrical engineering designer for the same company for over 24 years. I love farming, organic gardening, needlepoint, cross-stitch, and other needle arts, herbalism, natural healing, genealogy, reading, and building projects for my animals. Mostly I love the animals. I believe that God put me on this earth to serve Him and taking care of the animals. This brings me to the reason that is putting me behind bars. I give my life in order to save my animals, my family, and my companions over the past many years that Mike has been wrongfully imprisoned. When I found out that the raid on my farm by the FBI was not about Mike, but that they were after me, I was led down a path. You cannot imagine how violated and vulnerable you feel in your own home after it has been raided. It feels just the same as if you had been burglarized, believe me. You don't feel safe in your own home. I was led down a path by the attorney I hired, and he gave me a paper from the U.S. attorney that said, "Cooperate and proffer, or you will not be indicted or arrested. If you do not agree to proffer, you will be arrested and put in jail without bond." To me, that equated to my animals will be killed. That was over 100 lives of farm animals: cats, wolf dogs, rabbits, horses, chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, guineas, goats, emu, and a miniature donkey named Bodacious. That thought was more than I could bear. I sat there and I looked at my attorney and I said, I have no choice. He told me that I was going to go to jail and he thought they had the evidence to convict me, even though he had seen no evidence. At this point, I guess I should say that I went to hire an attorney because of the raid, and I was not going to talk to the police officials or law enforcement without an attorney. Anyway, I agreed to proffer. I guess that it should be stated also that I really didn't understand much of went on through the whole process that I was led up to until now. I don't even know what they expected. I didn't even know that they expected me to incriminate myself at the proffer. My attorney did not explain that to me. I didn't really know how the court process worked either. Mike tells me that I should have been questioned about what I was charged with by the judge, but I was not. She did ask me questions, but not about the charge. The U.S. attorney read this long thing into the record before I was sentenced, and I guess that's how they got into the record what I supposedly did. But there were many untruths, and of course, my attorney wasn't going to object. The local papers wrote even more untruths, like that I tried to negotiate, or that I negotiated a $250,000 contract. I wasn't in on any negotiations of any kind and didn't know anything about any negotiations. Some things that I've heard since my sentencing prove that I was dragged into this by the FBI. I have heard multiple outs for me, but the FBI insisted on dragging others into their scheme, both in Tennessee and Nebraska. They wanted $5,000, and when they could not get that, they suggested a car. They suggested it. Then after agreeing to take a plane from the Chilcotin, and Justice Hollis saying they wouldn't need the car, they still wanted the car. That certainly suggests to me that they were still trying to drag me into this. It was suggested to me by an undercover agent that this was for kidnapping a judge, a sheriff, and breaking my husband out of jail, but I understood it to be an arrest and a release order. I have since seen the indictments and the arrest orders and the release order. Authorities say that I never reported this so-called scheme to the police or FBI, but I understand it to be legitimate. And why would I call somebody that I fear? Every time my husband called the local sheriffs to report crimes against us, he was arrested. I am so afraid of local police that if my house were broken into today, while I was at home, I would be raped and killed before I would call 911. The first time I was called by the FBI, I told them that I was afraid of cops. I know there are good, honest law enforcement out there. I just wish they would realize what the corrupt ones are doing to the good, innocent people, and that the bad ones make us not trust any of them anymore. I'm sure there's a lot that I have to say out there, or I'm sure there's a lot that I have left out, and there's much more to say. I just don't know what else to say right now. I would like to thank everybody for your prayers, for all of us that are being targeted and locked up for imaginary crimes. Pray for our world as these are perilous times. Pray that Rudy and Aaron remain safe to do the good work that they do for all of the political prisoners in giving us a voice. God bless and walk sacred. Thank you for your time.
That's it, Mike.
Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate you sharing that with me. All I can say is,
You have 1 minute.
when you've got ruthless thugs posing as FBI agents, ripping the doors off your house, and extorting you and railroading you into prison and threatening you to kill your animals or the death of your animals if you don't plead guilty to something you didn't do. This is not America. This is Nazi Germany. We're dealing with hardcore criminal Nazis, and what are you going to do? Who are you going to call? There's nobody to call. That's why I'm trying to tell people it's time to wake up, take responsibility, stand on your own feet, take back this country. The government's not going to do it for you. They're not going to give you back the power that they've stolen. That's just the way it is.
Amen.
I'm sorry. So we'll either stand as men and women of God and declare God is the ultimate authority and the sovereign, and these people are low-life scum, and take back our land, or we'll be slaves, and they'll one by one put us in cages.
You have 0 minutes. I'm sorry. Your call was disconnected.
Oh, man, what a situation we got. I hope you guys take the time to write an encouraging letter to Mike Parsons, Pat Parsons, and Sue Holland. And I believe everything he's saying. The FBI is completely evil, wicked, satanic pieces of human garbage to put Pat Parsons in prison. They are absolute lowlifes. And you say, well, there's got to be some good people. If there were good people in the FBI, they would have stopped the plan to put Pat Parsons in prison. But they didn't stop it, did they?
I just wanted to ask you, if you can, I need a copy of the 2C Indian Band versus West Frazier Limited case. It's spelled T-O-O-S-E-Y.
Hold on. Let me go to my search engine right now. T-O-O-S-E-Y.
Indian Band.
Indian Man?
Band, B-A-N-D.
Oh, band. Indian Band. Okay.
Versus West Frazier. Frazier spelled F-R-A-S-E-R.
Okay.
LTD. And in parentheses, 1995.
Okay.
British Columbia Supreme Court.
Okay.
If you can find that, I need a copy of it. It basically is one of those cases that recognizes the sovereign Chilcotin nation. It's been there recognized long before Canada was ever Canada.
Yeah, hold on. I'm downloading something now. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is a 485-page document. It says, in the Supreme Court of British Columbia, it says, Tilshawquotan Nation versus British Columbia between Roger William and Her Majesty the Queen. I mean, I don't know if this is it or not. Does it sound like it's it?
No, that's not it. That's not it. I got that.
Oh. Okay, let me see what else I got. There's a thing called Tusi First Nation in Wikipedia. Let me bring this, but you don't want Wikipedia. There's a 286-page document that says Tilshawquotan Nation versus British Columbia. It's got an executive summary.
That's the 2014 decision.
I don't see a date. It says 2007 in brackets. It says judgment November the 20th, 2007.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. What are we looking? Hold on. We're looking for Tusi Indian Band versus West Frazier. Maybe this is it. Hold on just a second.
West Frazier's a lumber company.
Let me see if the word Frazier even shows up in here. You sure it's F-R-A-S-I-E-R?
No, F-R-A-S-E-R.
Oh, I thought it was I-E-R. Okay, let me research.
No.
Okay.
West, W-E-S-T, Frazier, F-R-A-S-E-R.
Okay.
Ltd. Period.
Give me a second.
Lumber company.
Oh, maybe this is it. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, hold on.
And also, if you have the ability to write it down, this Todd Ververka, his case number is 4:17
4:17
CR
-CR
3039.
3039.
Yeah, it's one number higher than the case number from me. If you can find that on Pacer and see if there's any of his, he made a plea deal. He's got diversion, but it doesn't specify, but I believe they required him to be state's evidence and testify against it.
Okay.
I was going to see if you had the ability to pull that up on Pacer and see if it lists what his diversion conditions were. I just kind of like to know if he's required to testify against me. Because I've watched all the video, and all the video that he's on, he kept saying that I'm a victim of this criminal justice system. I'm being abused and getting effed over. He says that like half a dozen times. Everybody he's talking to. And he only said he wanted to help with the airplane. He didn't want to have anything to do with anything else. And they basically entrapped him. The same as Pat. You know, the thing is that the FBI never...
You have 10 minutes.
The FBI never said that these court orders from the Chilcotin Nation's court are illegal or not valid. Nobody has ever said they're not valid.
Right.
If they would have claimed that they were not valid, they would have stated that right off the bat. That would have been part of their argument. But it's not. It's a presumption. It's called an inference. They are stacking the inferences. They will infer something, in other words, lead you to believe something, get you to say it, and then charge you with what you said, even though they never asked you specifically that thing. It's an entrapment scheme through it's old Roman law. It's called presumptions. All presumptions. They presume that you're guilty if you show up in court. If you get a summons and you show up in court, by their Roman law, you're presumed guilty. So the concept of innocent until proven guilty doesn't exist in these courts. What you and I and everybody else has been taught from the time we could breathe is not what's going on in these courts. All that stuff that we were taught was thrown out the window with the Constitution.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Have you ever heard the name Michael Howard Reed?
No.
The reason I ask is there's another lady who's been following your case. She's very knowledgeable, and she said that what's happened to you and Pat is pretty much a cookie cutter as what's happened to them, but it's all overwhelming to me, Mike. I'm not really a legal guy, and all this legal stuff and Pacer and affidavits, I mean, I'll do the best that I can, and I will stick some stuff in the mail, but I'm just, okay. I'm not legally oriented, you know,
Sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah, if you got any information from her that you can send me, what's the name of her case, do you know?
Let me find it. It's, let me just read what's said here. It says sending you, go ahead.
It wasn't the Pembina Little Shell Indian Band, was it?
I don't know any, but no, I don't know about that. Here it says the Michael Parsons case and the Michael Reed case is almost an exact duplicate of how the three letters are persecuting people. 2 different Indian nations, other locations, North Dakota and Tennessee. And then it gives a bunch of links, and there's all kinds of links to Michael Howard Reed was an advocate for the native original people. I guess it was in Safford, Arizona. Anyway, somebody was trying to make a connection between you and that other case, saying they were cookie cutter cases. I'm trying to find a case. Oh, I got a case number. I got a case number for you, but I don't know if that'll help.
I can't look it up. I don't have access to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the thing is, I'm going to do the best I can, but I got to tell you, when it comes to this legal stuff, I get bogged down real easy. But I can print off an 11-page petition. I'll try to find the affidavit you mentioned. I just wish that other people that had the specialty in this legal crap, and I call it crap on purpose because it's all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo to me, and it's a bunch of fancy people in suits saying a bunch of fancy things, and like you said, it's witchcraft. I just wish God Almighty would strike them all dead and let you people out of prison, you know, because all this mumbo...
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is truly sorcery because they're practicing what's called lesser magic, okay? It's part of the art of deception. It's Luciferian. And what they do is they proceed on presumptive law, old canon law from the Roman times, and the people do not know. Christ said, "Woe unto ye lawyers, for you take away the keys of knowledge." The keys of knowledge were the definitions. They changed the definitions of the words. You're not allowed to know the definitions of the words that they're using. And so when they ask you certain words and phrases, these are magic words and phrases to them. It's all hocus pocus. And you better believe that they're operating under sorcery when you're in there, when they're wearing their black robes. They're not there about justice or truth. There's nothing about God in there. It is total satanic worship.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I totally agree.
The rest of the people need to get on board and wake up, because one by one, they are feeding off we the people, and anybody that is outspoken and exposing this corruption, that's who they come after. Remember, 3 days after Christ turned over the money changers and exposed the scam of what they were doing with the church, defiling it, they crucified him. If you don't bow your knee and declare Caesar as Lord, the government is Lord, that word Lord translated means ultimate authority or sovereign. If your creator God is your sovereign, your ultimate authority,
You have 5 minutes.
they want you dead in a bad way. They really want you so dead, it would blow your mind to realize how dead they want you. That's what people can't wrap their mind around, is people want us dead for having an opinion.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I've seen it too many times. People that speak about, God's law is higher than man's law, and calling these evildoers out, they get tortured, they get put in prison, or they get murdered. And now they're going after families, and they are just wicked, wicked, wicked people. There's no doubt about it. But, Mike, we're going to appeal to a mighty living God, and I believe he's got a plan for everybody's life. Just, our job is to be obedient even unto death.
That's true. That's so true. And here's the thing. They are all about extortion. They are extortionists, because I do not extort, because I will not plead guilty to something I didn't do. I will not acknowledge them as anything. And they complained, the FBI in their report complained and said, Mr. Parsons is not cooperating, and because of that, he's not been able to be taken to trial on this charge from 2014. Well, guess what? If they were legitimate, it wouldn't matter if I recognized their authority or not.
Right.
Seriously. If they were legitimate, me recognizing them would be irrelevant.
What is the latest supposed thing that's an update on your case? Are they going to take you to court at any date has been set, or you're just sitting there with no date?
No, no. They never took me. They arrested me in Arapahoe, Nebraska, because I didn't show up for a trial that I didn't have an order to appear at. I didn't violate any law. Unless I had an order to appear, there was no expectation for me to appear. You have to be given an order to appear. They didn't do that. Okay? That's that presumptive law. They're sending me notice of a hearing, but no order to appear.
Right.
The idiots just show up in court are that. They're the ne'er-do-wells that the government relies on to fill their prisons, because people are ignorant that unless you're ordered, you don't have to show up. That's the fact.
Yeah.
And they have the authority. They had me there in Tennessee. Why did they not take me to trial? The trial was scheduled for July 31st. Why did they not take me to trial? Many reasons. Number one, they don't have jurisdiction. Number two, I didn't have possession of guns. Number three, the arresting officer got fired for planting drugs on somebody. Number four, my wife and my mother would be there to testify that they were there, and I wasn't even there. I was in another state.
Wow. Wow, yeah, they don't want it to go to. They don't want it to go to court. You know, they're trying to say that Sue Holland is insane. Rather than give her day in court so that it could be put before a jury, the judge overruled the psychiatric hospital, even though the psychiatric hospital said she's mentally competent. There's nothing wrong with her. The judge overruled the psychiatric hospital and sent her back.
Well, let me tell you what the judge is doing. Has she been sent back to the psychiatric hospital yet?
I believe she's going back to the psychiatric hospital. She's not there yet, but I believe that's the plan. They're going to put her back there.
Okay, actually, that's a good thing for her. Let me tell you why. Had they tried her in Canada, then the United States could have gotten her extradited, and then they could have put her in prison here for life. All right, because the Canadian courts have said, nope, we're putting her in a nut house, the Canadian courts can squirrel her away for a short time in a nut house, and then they can say, well, you know what? She's not as dangerous after all. We're just going to let her go.
Well, I hope they don't try to kill her. I hope they don't try to kill her, Mike.
No, I think they would have already killed her if they wanted her dead. I think they backed off of it. I think Canada is probably realizing that it would be too bad a press for them to kill her as a political prisoner. They'd rather her be squirreled away as a nutcase, and sending her back to the United States would be a bad thing.
You have 1 minute.
Because what it would show the people of Canada is that the Canadian government is nothing but a puppet for the U.S. mafia.
How much longer do you expect to be in jail before anything happens with you? I mean, are you just going to sit there forever until like they make you say uncle? I mean, what do you think going to happen with you?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I've had the flu here. I just got up off the floor. I mean, I sleep on a concrete floor. I don't get any outside fresh air. I am deteriorating, even though they're giving me I mean, Tipton County, they were just hardcore trying to kill me. It was starvation 101. And you know, the fact is they've got a trial scheduled for April, the middle of April here. You know, they're trying to get it to where I can't argue my defenses. They've already ignored my motion to dismiss. I'll see if I can send you a...
You have 0 minutes. I'm sorry. Your call was disconnected.
Okay, it cut him off. I pray you keep Mike Parsons, Pat Parsons, and Sue Holland in your prayers, and I pray that you write him a letter. Thank you for your time.